You want your horses safe. You want them secure. We do too. That's why we engineered ElectroBraid fence to be safe and secure. For the love of horses. ElectroBraid, the permanent electric fence that is safe, secure, simple. Horse owners and horse professionals agree.
I think there's three main benefits of ElectroBraid, and that's that ElectroBraid is a safe fence, ElectroBraid is a durable fence, and ElectroBraid is a cost-effective fence.
It's extremely safe, extremely durable, and very, very low maintenance.
ElectroBraid is safe.
Well, I think it's probably the safest fencing out there. I mean, that's kind of what I was looking for, is something that would keep my horses off the fence.
I find ElectroBraid to be one of the safest materials on the market for fencing.
I used to have lots of little vet bills where the horses would hang a leg in the fence and get a small cut, and I'd have to call the vet out to sew it up and things like that. And with ElectroBraid, it is just keep the horses off the fence. I don't have any of those injuries.
One of the things that we found from our research on the fence injuries was that the most common cause of the severe injuries was the horses panicking and running into a fence or being pushed into a fence. So one of the important features that comes up with ElectroBraid is that it is a forgiving fence. It's forgiving, it's got resiliency, so if the horses do happen to run into it, it will give and then it will return back to its normal position.
The animals can push up against it, they can move it, they won't get hurt, they won't get cut on barbed wire, you won't have wooden boards falling down and whatever else.
So I've personally seen horses run into an ElectroBraid fence and suffer very minimal injury.
The possibility of an injury, even with ElectroBraid, is there, but it's so much reduced.
I had a foal run down the pasture one day and didn't stop and hit the braid and kind of slid down the braid, and all we got out of it was just a small rope burn. If it had been a board fence, I'm sure the baby would have broken its neck.
ElectroBraid fencing would have prevented all of the injuries that I've seen.
Oh, there's no question. The horse injury in this kind of fence would be, I bet it'd be nil.
And now we've engineered the safest fence for horses, even safer, with our fence minder.
The fence minder is kind of the newest, greatest addition to an already good product. It gives us peace of mind.
It's hooked up to a telephone at my house to alert me if there's a problem.
And if we have a horse impact a fence, or if a tree falls on the fence, in other words, if we get a voltage drop, it sets off an alarm for us and instantly warns us.
Well, I don't know how you could make a fence any safer. I mean, the horses respect that fence so much, they don't even get near it. They don't paw at it. They don't run through it. They just respect that fence all the way around.
One of the most impressive things has been the natural respect that the horses have for the fence. That's important from the point of view of reducing injuries, and it's also going to be important when maybe there's a panic situation. It is going to be in the horse's head that this is a fence that deserves respect.
The safety aspect of the product is tremendous because of the respect that the animal has for it.
ElectroBraid is strong and secure. Choose from 3 colors: white, black, and speckled.
You could easily tow a car with it. You could actually suspend a car from it. That's a type of loading that this rope will be able to take.
ElectroBraid is made of a new generation polyester fiber and meets the same rigorous standards as seatbelts and parachute harnesses.
We saw a product that would conduct electricity, that had tensile strength, that would take abuse. It wasn't fragile. You didn't have to be careful handling it. You could put tension on it. You could pull it.
We tested for ultraviolet exposure. We did salt spray testing, strength testing, abrasive testing on it.
ElectroBraid will withstand the heavy snow and ice storms of a Canadian winter, as well as the scorching Texas and Florida sun. ElectroBraid's double helix construction allows bend and stretch, and the pure copper conductors carry the charge over a longer distance. ElectroBraid is simple to install. Fencing with ElectroBraid is as simple as walking around a paddock.
I would say this is probably where this product really shines.
We put up almost 5,000 foot in 4 days. When you're running board fence, you might get 2,500 foot a week, maybe. That's a good week. That's a 6-day week. So, I mean, it really don't compare.
Very easy to install. It's probably the easiest fencing system I've ever seen to install. You don't need 50 people out here putting the fence up.
Just drive down the line, roll it out.
We put up about 2,000 feet worth, and it took about 12 hours to install it.
We have around 50 acres in ElectroBraid fencing. Translated into linear feet is about 24,000 feet.
You can cover a lot of territory in a short time.
We put board fencing along the road basically to make it a traditional horse farm look. But we have really incorporated the ElectroBraid even there, and we've done that basically to keep horses off the boards.
Where the cable was, we put the ElectroBraid in with the insulators, and it works very well.
We have fence lines that we can take down and put up, but you can't do that with other fences. I mean, we take the braid and roll it up around our arm, move it 100 feet down the line, and establish a new pasture. Now it has 8,000 volts going through it.
We can carry it with us if we travel with the horses too, so if we're stuck somewhere overnight, we can make a little paddock.
It's a totally reusable product.
It's almost like a one-man fence.
And the cost was just the biggest surprise of all.
Well, that's the main reason we used it to split pastures, because it's so much less expensive than the board fence.
We've placed our posts here approximately 50 feet apart.
So that lowers the maintenance, it lowers the manpower, and it lowers the cost.
It's about 25% or 1/4 of the cost of four-board fence, even putting the posts closer together than ElectroBraid recommends.
ElectroBraid is more affordable than virtually all other permanent horse fences.
It saved us so much money, and we're not repairing it like we used to do with the board fences.
The installation and maintenance of the ElectroBraid was far below any other type of fencing that would provide a safe enclosure for our horses, and we've been very happy with it.
Traditional fences mean constant maintenance, which is time-consuming and costly. ElectroBraid is almost maintenance-free.
We'll have a plastic insulator break or slip once in a while, but I can't remember the last time it was turned off. So I guess that means we haven't done any maintenance on it.
And we have zero. That's between -1 and +1. Zero. We have 0 labor hours in maintenance in 9 months after the installation. That's payback.
Really, you're talking about a long-term maintenance-free product.
And I defy you to find me a product that you can put up and leave alone for 9 months and use for 9 months and never spend a dime on it.
You don't have anything to break, but if it did, it's real simple. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
ElectroBraid accommodates all sorts of terrain. Streams are easy to cross, even a wooded environment.
It's all very open, and it's a different look than the board fencing, but it's a very clean look.
We're looking more and more to open things up. Horses are much more happier when they've got a much more open concept, open view. They're a herd animal. It gives them that feeling that they're in a herd, that they're a part of the herd. Very, very important from a behavior point of view.
They just don't seem as stressed over the fences because they don't get near the fences. They don't walk the fence line anymore. They stay out in the middle of the pasture, and they roam like free horses and not like horses that are in a cage.
The other thing I like about it is its appearance. It's an openness. You don't even notice that it's there. I mean, and you look out across the pastures, and it just has such a nice, clean appearance.
They all kind of can see each other, and I think they do probably acquire a little comfort, a little herd comfort in knowing that they're all together a little bit without those barriers.
When you have relatively expensive animals, you want to see them.
Hollywood Dunnett has been phenomenal. He's the leading sire of the NRHA, of the National Reining Horse Association. His colts now have won over $3 million, and well, I want to keep him around for another 10 years if I possibly can. And stallions need to get outside. Well, if I put him inside the ElectroBraid fence, he's safe.
People come here all the time, of course, to see Rugged Lark, and they're always asking me, what is that fence? And I can tell them what it is, and they say, well, do you like it? And I said, yeah, I love it. I have no fear whatsoever about leaving Lark behind ElectroBraid fence.
The first reason I was interested in ElectroBraid was I had a problem with yearling studs jumping the fence and breeding the neighbor's mares. And so I knew I had to get some type of electricity in that fence. And I visited with Tim McQuay, and he told me about the ElectroBraid. And we came out here and put that up, and I have had no horses jumping the fence since. They have stayed away from the fences, and I have happy neighbors again.
ElectroBraid works well, costs less, looks great.
This product is just fabulous.
When we saw it, we said that solves all the problems we have.
I wish I'd have found it years ago. I think it's the best thing ever made.
To order ElectroBraid or to estimate the cost and time needed to install your ElectroBraid fence, give us a call or check out our website.